Welcome back. It's episode 14. Let's talk about the difference between plantar fasciitis and Baxter's entrapment. See you later. Hey, welcome back. This is episode 14 of our common injuries. I'd like to talk to you about the difference between plantar fasciitis and a condition called Baxter's entrapment. Baxter's entrapment is something where it's a nerve coming off of your foot and it attaches to the bottom portion of your heel, and it can cause plantar fascia type of pain. And typically about 25% of all heel pain can be this Baxter's entrapment type of problem. And so you can have what it is called an inferior calcaneal nerve, and it can get pinched a little bit and cause some issues. And then what happens is the longer you have this condition, you start to have some atrophy meaning decrease in muscle size on a muscle called the abductor digiti minimi muscle. It's a muscle that kind of helps support your arch, so a very important muscle to have. So what happens is that the nerve starts to deinnervate, basically cut off the signal to that muscle, and it starts to become weakened. So that's one thing that you can have with heel pain. Now the difference between plantar fasciitis and Baxter's entrapment can be symptom-wise. Plantar fasciitis, what you're going to do is you're going to have pain mostly. You're going to have pain when you first wake up in the morning and the first step when you take out of bed. Or if you've been sitting down for a little while, you're going to have some pain on your heel. And what happens is whenever you walk, your pain starts to get better as the day goes on because it's soft tissue. So soft tissue kind of warms up and you get a little bit better, increased blood flow to the area. And then the next, with the Baxter's entrapment, you're going to have is pain every time you take a step, and it never gets better. It continues to get worse because you're putting pressure on this nerve. And so I'm going to show you guys some different ways you can treat plantar fasciitis as well as Baxter's entrapment. So the difference between treatment with plantar fasciitis and Baxter's entrapment is that you want to, plantar fasciitis, you can do a little bit more massage type of techniques, and Baxter's entrapment, you'd want to do more type of more stability exercises. Both conditions you would still want to do stability exercises, but you want to do less massage with that nerve entrapment type of exercise. And so what you want to do is what happens is when you have both plantar fasciitis and Baxter's entrapment is that you pronate too long during gait or while running. What pronation is basically whenever your foot rolls in too much, too long, and it causes more strain on the inside portion of your foot. And then that causes some problems and more strains on the plantar fascia and a little bit more pressure on that Baxter's entrapment area, that Baxter's nerve area, and causing some pain. And so we want to be able to get, when you push off, that heel to go back in, and you want that heel to go in and lock in while push off, so that gives your arch support. Now when you first take our first step, your arch actually splays out. That gives you the cushioning that you need, but during push off, that arch should come up. We call that the windlass mechanism, where the arch comes up and supports you a little bit better there too, and gives you more rigid position there too. And you want that. And if not, what happens again, it strains everything up above, even all the way up to your head and neck too. So So the first exercise I'm going to show you to do is more for your plantar fasciitis, kind of a stretching type of exercises or some sort of self-massage exercise. And so with this, you can definitely go without shoes. Okay, the first exercise you're going to do is more of a stretch. Again, that plantar fascia attaches from down through here and attaches to your heel. And so how you're going to do that, you're going to stretch. And you can do this in first thing in the morning, so this kind of stretches that area there. And hold it for about 30 seconds or so. It can feel pretty good. And then, so another thing you can do is stretching, and then for the plantar fascia part is you can do a little bit of rolling here. You can get this roller at any sporting goods store. It doesn't have to be anything special. And you just kind of roll on that soft tissue there. It feels good. Rolling that foot out. If you feel a little tender spot, you can hold that there for just a little bit. And this is, you can do this, you know, even if you don't have plantar fasciitis. If you have something that is a little sore even after your run, you kind of want to make sure it doesn't get into something that's even worse, and rolling that out there. Okay. And then, so for conditions like the Baxters entrapment, what you want to do is do some strengthening. And so you can get, there's a muscle called the posterior tibialis. It's a muscle that sits behind your shin, and it attaches underneath there. It's one of the muscles that helps support your arch. And so what you're going to do is you're going to grab the band, cross your leg over. And so how to strengthen that muscle, you're going to point your toes down and then pull up towards the ceiling. And so that gets, you can almost feel there's a tendon right there. You may feel a little tightening in your arch area. So I do whenever I do this exercise. So anytime you do exercises, you want to go up, slow, down, slow. You're working the muscle twice. Call this concentric contraction, meaning shortening the muscle, and then lengthening the muscle. Both directions are very important to do. So a good movement control. And again, you can do about 15 slow repetitions. 15 is too much, you can knock it down to 5 or 10, as long as it's good quality exercise. And so that's definitely for both the Baxter's entrapment as well as the plantar fasciitis. So second exercise for strengthening that you can do is grab anything that is, you can grab a ball, or I'm using a yoga block here. And basically we talked about that your heel needs to kind of lock into position this way when you push off. So that kind of simulates that whenever you do that, you lock that position in. And you raise up on your toes, keeping that plantar fascia nice and locked in. And also protecting that Baxter's nerve. Okay. And so that's one exercise you could do. Another strengthening exercise you can do, a little bit more challenging. And so you can do is grab a exercise ball. And then, so what you're going to do is kind of more of a balance exercise. And so you're going to raise up, and if you can, raise up one leg and balance. You can feel your arch really tightening up. So we find with research, whenever you do this exercise, it really helps with those intrinsic muscles. So we find when you strengthen those intrinsic muscles, that helps act as a good shock absorber, as well as it actually helps improve your arch while you're doing this. So your arch actually gets a little tighter, and you get improved arch with that. So you can do just a few repetitions of that. Hold it for about 5 seconds and then relax. And so those are a few exercises for you to help with your plantar fasciitis, or if you have something called Baxter's entrapment. Now with the Baxter's entrapment, if you feel like it's not getting better, that's something you might want to go and seek medical help with. There's other individuals that can do specific testing for that nerve to see if it is entrapped. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and hit ding the bell so that way you don't miss any other videos that I may put up. I hope everyone keeps safe, keep running, and we'll see you next time.